Flyers TV is sponsored by the Bay Hotel. First of all, Todd, just your reaction to the defeat on Sunday to Edinburgh Capitals.
Clearly, we were disappointed in the result, and I think the frustrating thing is looking over the tape. A couple of the goals, very, very sloppy, and kind of a reoccurrence of the night before. They wake up late in the third period, score a couple goals. We have the net empty again for another full minute, and it's too little, too late.
Going into the weekend, would you expect to pick up at least 2 points from the two games?
I think more importantly, I would expect not to be outworked. And I think the biggest disappointment out of both games is clearly that both teams wanted it, or appeared to want it more than we did. We played like we should be playing for small periods of those games, and we did. We were firmly in control of it, but it was not near enough.
And how is it you and Danny can look to address those concerns you've got?
Well, I think that guys have to realize that European game is a different game than North America. You're expected to perform night in and night out, and you're expected to find ways to win. And you can't rely on somebody sitting beside you to pick up the slack for you if you're not going to show up at the rink. I think guys have to realize how important it is. It's a privilege to play in Europe. It's a privilege to play for this ice hockey club. And, they're over here with good jobs, but they need to perform consistently.
Those differences you talked about, what is the contrast like between American hockey or North American hockey and in the UK and in Europe?
Well, I think the fact that you put such a big importance on the playoffs. Back home, as long as you make the playoffs, you're okay, and it's the playoff run, the playoff championship. No one here really remembers who won the regular season. We're over here, league position and conference position is very vital. It's important for not only pride, and it's an important trophy. It's also now with these European leagues that teams go to, it's great exposure, and it's something that's we don't have the best 5 and best of 7 series over here. We just have a playoff final weekend. That would be a great trophy to win. I'm not taking anything away from that, but league is very important over here, and I think sometimes guys are slow on the uptake on that. And where in North America, you can ride your good and bad runs. You lose players getting called up or getting removed, and there's a big revolving doors of players coming in if you're not doing a job. Whereas here, not as many changes.
What's your thoughts going into this weekend, a doubleheader against Belfast Giants in the Challenge Cup?
Well, I think this gives us a chance to see the other half here. We haven't seen the other division for a while, and they've been playing some good hockey. Gives us a chance that we've already qualified for the next round to look at a few things. But it also gives me an opportunity as a coach to demand that these guys show up in a game where we possibly could have rested guys, and tweaked a few things. Now guys are going to have to come out and battle for spots and battle for spots in the lineup, and that's just the nature of the game because we've found ourselves in this position. It's time for guys to lay it all down on the line and go out there and perform consistently.
Is there a divide, a gap between the Northern Conference teams and the Southern Conference teams, do you believe, or is it quite close?
Well, I mean, if you look at the top, Nottingham just look like they're just rolling right now. Cardiff Devils, Andrews put together a very good ice hockey club in Belfast as well. Can't rule out the Sheffield Steelers, who maybe not got off to the start that they've liked, but that's an incredibly talented team there. Saying that, the Edinburgh Capitals and Dundee Stars have had success against these guys. But those teams are at the top of the division for a reason. There might be a slight gap, but I mean, it's not as wide as it was years ago where teams would roll up north here and it was an easy 4-point weekend and they're laughing and joking around. Teams have to come in here and play good hockey. So that gap is closing all the time. And irregardless of what's said, I mean, the league has just improved vastly over the last couple of years, and it's only going to get better.
A big thing about this weekend would be the fact that obviously Matt Nickerson, a former player, returns for his first competitive match in Kirkcaldy. How big a player was Matt for Fife?
Matt was a huge player for Fife. In talking to a number of people still are quite fond of Matt and what Matt accomplished here. Matt was a huge draw and put a lot of bums on seats in this building, and something that we're still feeling the effects of. People like to see him. He was a very recognizable figure around town. It didn't work out for us, but he's really found, appears he's found his niche in Belfast as a support player there, and doing very well and up at right near the top of the table. So good for Matt, and he comes back to Fife where he's still beloved by many, but we'll be looking to take points off those guys.
Former players like Matt, like Ned or Bobby, that play for other teams in the league and play for other teams around the world, if you like, do you still keep in touch with all these former players? Do you follow how they're getting on?
Well, I'm a little bit of a dinosaur. I never really embraced the social media side of things. I'm trying to dip my toe in the water, I guess, a little bit, just to maybe for my daughter's sake and stuff like that, to keep your eye on those things when they start getting involved in their computer work and everything. But I keep in touch with a few players that I played with, and we won together, and got awful close. These last couple of years, I know players, the hockey world's just shrunk incredibly. Former players are consistently in touch with each other, and a lot of friendships. But I don't speak to a lot of guys. But when I see them, it's nice to catch up for 5 minutes.
Just finally, how's Jeff Lee doing? Obviously missed last weekend, and Michael Dorr, that's him, played a couple of games now. Is he doing a lot better?
Yeah, Dorr was back in the lineup last weekend, and we're taking the advice of our physio and medical staff on Jeff. Hopefully the rest of the last week and weekend have done him a world of good, and I'd like to think that he'll begin skating with us again this week and be an option for the lineup this weekend. It's not vital that I overplay him this weekend, because we have 3-3 next week, which is our league points, which are very important to this club. So we won't overplay him. If he'll be back, we'll let him break in, but the weekend's still far away as away.
Just Todd.
Thank you.